And so this has come from, I'd imagine, a decade of meeting with people across the dining room table, and you learn these things. And so you might go, well, I don't have 11 years in solar. Well, you have it now. You have his experience that he's giving to you that you can learn from immediately and choose to implement. Okay, so go through it, and approved, not approved, right? You transition back to something if they weren't approved. How are you? Yeah, what do you do there?
Yeah, so before the approval, I'll say, hey, listen, if for some reason this comes back as not approved, we're just going to pivot to the next best option. Okay, so don't give up on yourself. I'm not going to give up on you. If it is approved, then I give them a liner that I learned from my friend. I think it was either Steven or Nick. So one of them's going to give me shit about it though, because they're like, I came up with that. But they taught me to say, I've got some bad news and some good news for you. And then they always say, well, okay, give me the bad news. And I tell them, well, the bad news is you're going to get stuck with me for the rest of your life. Because the good news is we got you approved for coverage. And most of the time, people always laugh. Sometimes people don't get the joke and they're like, well, that's not such a bad thing. It was a joke. The only time that I'm ever very quiet is after I ask that question. I've gotten into some like staring matches with some people when I say I got some bad news and some good news for you, and then I'm quiet. I want to have them say, "Well, give me the bad news first." And I've had it where I've literally like 2 minutes later, they're like, "Are you still there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You're gonna ask me what the bad news and the good news is? Yeah, I was just waiting for you to tell me. But that's the only time that I'm kind of quiet. I just wait for them to tell me, and I give them the good news, and then I send them over all their policy information. One of the things that I do that I learned on a call is some agent I don't know that I guess came up with this, but I do it on every single one now, is when I'm giving them all their policy information, I let them know, hey, listen, you got to be a little careful. There's a lot of scams in Medicare, Medicaid, life insurance. A lot of people call out of the blue. I don't ever want you to get confused if you think somebody's calling about your policy or from my office. So I'm going to give you a security code. It's the last 4 digits of your policy number, which is this. So your code is this. If anybody ever calls you about life insurance, including me, I want you to always ask what the security code is on your account. And if they don't have that, they don't know what you're talking about, then they ain't it. And you just need to hang up, call me, but if anybody ever calls you, make sure to ask for that code. That's really important. And they go, okay. And I think that helps with like cross-sell retention versus.
That's tremendous. I've never heard it said that way. And I've done hundreds of these calls. That's fantastic. That's good. So, okay. I mean, that was fantastic. Yeah. Last 4 of your policy. Cause you have it there. It popped up. You can see it. They can see it. We see it together. I'm gonna text you, text it, email, both. What's your information process to get them to them?
I shoot them a text, and then I ask them to text me at the end of 3 or 4 weeks to tell me whether they got the policy packet or not.
Okay. Anything else you say, do at the very, very end to kind of tie it down? Ask for referrals. Are you?
Yeah, I saw this FFL podcast that was great, and I probably have the word track wrong, but I just asked him. I said, okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. First question is, how do you rate me on the call today between 1 to 10? Most people say 10. I thank them for it. I'll joke with them, and I'll say, okay, well, you said it. Now I'm not going to let you take it back because you already said it. It's too late, so I'll take the 10. And then I'll ask them, I'll say, did I answer all your questions? They'll either say yes, or they'll say, well, actually, I have one more question on this. So I make sure that we answer all their questions. It's good for them to verbally say, yes, he answered all my questions, because then there's no doubt left, right? And then the third question that I ask is, did I help you meet your goals? And when they say yes, you did a good job, and it's cemented. And they feel that you did a good job too, because you answered all their questions. They rated you a 10. You answered all their questions, and then you met their goals. Perfect. Job well done. And then I always ask them, okay, well, now who else do you know who I can help? And then we have the referral talk.
There you go. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I tell them to save my number and save my contact is first name Arthur, last name life insurance or life insurance broker, just in case they forget my name. They can always just search in their phone for life insurance and then find me.
Yeah, that's so good, man. I would always say, are you happy with the job I've done for you today? And they would go, yes. And I go, perfect. And they'd go, yes, thank you. They would force the thank you versus us as the agent, thanking them. Thank you for allowing me to take care of you, right? Are you thanking them for the commission? What are you thanking them for? You did the service. You need to reverse the role. You're the doctor. The doctor doesn't say, thank you for coming in so I can file an insurance claim and make more money and take care of my, put gas in my boat. You're inverting, going, thank you for diagnosing me and letting me know I'm going to be fine, right? Thank you for taking care of my kids, right?
Yeah.
That's such a powerful way. I love the 10 yes. I mean, guys, this is why you show up. So,
for anybody that's watching this, listen to play that back. What Grady just said is absolute retention gold. I think probably the majority of salespeople, because they just got the sale, think that it's polite and appropriate to thank the client, like, thank you for your business. But whoever says thank you is the person that got the most value. And so if they're thanking you, then they're leaving with all the value. If you're thanking them, gosh, when they leave, it's like, well, what was he thanking me for? Well, how much did he make on that? Oh, hold on, wait a second. And so what Grady just said about making sure that you give them an opportunity to thank you and then be very gracious, about receiving that.
Yeah.
That'll help your persistency really with any type of sales. That's solid retention game.
All right, let me give you some flowers for a second, and then I want to jump into recruiting, because you've told me some stuff earlier about how you're recruiting and building, and you've got this huge network from 11 years. But let me share some with everybody. So if you'll notice right now, Arthur is very controlled. He's very, I wouldn't say monotone. He's very melodic in the way he communicates. He's communicating that way with me, and I'd imagine he communicates the exact same way with his clients on the phone. Why? Because the majority of our clients are simple, normal people. And regardless of if they were very affluent or they were, had mental challenges, talking in a simple, melodic tone, in a direct, forcing the conversation forward, gives the client feel like he's in control, but also makes them feel comfortable because he's not coming across fast and quick talking and upending. And we need to get this put, he's not talking in that manner. And so this has come from, I'd imagine, a decade of meeting with people across the dining room table, and you learn these things. And so you might go, well, I don't have 11 years in solar. Well, you have it now. You have his experience that he's giving to you that you can learn from immediately and choose to implement. Many of you will choose to implement it, and many of you will choose to not implement it. I don't know why people choose one way or the other, but that's just choice. And so I can see the way you communicate, your passion for people is why you're so successful so fast. It's as clear as that day.